Hi everyone. This is Pranav from Smallcase. Today we'll be hosting a webinar between two of our entities, that is Right Research and Augment Capital. So the agenda for today's discussion will be to talk about one of the portfolios that has been curated by Right Research in association with Augment Capital, which goes by the name of sector rotation. So this is a strategy that our manager, that is Sonam Srivastava from Right Research, will be talking about. And this will be an interactive session where most of the questions that you might have with respect to this portfolio will be addressed by both the entities that we have on the webinar today. So without further ado, let us start the webinar. Let this be a Q&A session. So my first question will be, pointed towards Augment Capital, that is Anand from Augment Capital. So Anand, we wanted to try to understand a little more about the fundamentals of the strategy, that is why sector rotation was one of the philosophy that you wanted to go by when curating a portfolio, and the objective which you wanted to achieve with this particular strategy.
Thanks, Pranav. Thanks, Smallcase, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Sonam, for joining this. Yeah, it's a good question to start off with, Pranav. So the whole objective, I'll just give you a brief background. In August this 2020, last year, I was looking for funds that had higher exposure to metals. I searched around and I got one fund which had the highest exposure of only about 9% into metals, and that is when I decided that we need to launch something which has got little more higher allocation, not just in banks or in IT. They need to have higher allocation in offbeat sectors too. And unfortunately, I couldn't find it, and that's when I came across you. You helped me to connect to Sonam, and I discussed this with her, and we designed a strategy that helps to go high, very high on sectors that we believe are undervalued in the blue chip space. And that's why the primary reason for sector rotation taking birth. Fortunately for us, it's done very well. We did a lot of back testing, and I'm sure Sonam will talk more about that. But the whole objective is that if you are, there are markets, and there are underperforming markets, and there are extremely over bullish market like what we are seeing right now. In both these markets, there are going to be undervalued sectors. In a market that is beaten down, there are more undervalued sectors, and in a market like this, there are very little undervalued sectors. The whole idea is we go and buy those stocks which are undervalued today and are ripe enough for the next leg of economic rally, and make the sort of this entire economic rally that we expect. So that's the objective, and that's what sector rotation is all about. We always move around with sectors from low valuation to over valuation. That's the whole idea of the sector rotation strategy.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I do have a follow-up question, and I think that maybe Sonam would be in a better position to answer this query. So Sonam, we wanted to understand how you go about the methodology that you use to go ahead and research the stocks that are required for the sector rotation portfolio, and how did you define the strategy that was needed to be put in place? So if you could throw some light on it and elaborate further, I believe that will be of interest to the audience.
Definitely. The sector rotation, is a very common strategy. It's a very popular strategy across the world, where, people look at the current market cycle that we are in and try to choose the best sectors for that cycle. Right? Like Anand said, that in a recovery cycle, metals do really well, right? But in a certain other part of the cycle, well, if there's a slowdown, then maybe, FMCG and most defensive sectors start doing well. So Anand, he came up with a very well-defined, idea to us. He said that he is going to look at the dividend yield of the stocks of the sector. He's going to look at the valuation, the P ratio and the value number for the sector, and then we added momentum as another factor to the to the sector. So we sort of take broad indices of each sector. We evaluate these metrics for each of the sectors, which is dividend yield, valuation and momentum, and then we create a combined score for each sector, and then we rank sectors based on this combined score. And the idea is, Anand wanted to have a very, concentrated portfolio of very liquid stocks. So for each sector, we take only the top two, stocks of the sector by market cap. So we'll take the stock with the highest market cap, and then the next market cap. And so the research that Right Research did with Anand's idea was that we tried to optimize what is the optimal combination of these three things: valuation, dividend, and momentum, that will give us the best performance. And using that, we have created like a monthly rebalanced portfolio. But even with a monthly rebalance, the churn for this particular portfolio is very low, because we are very concentrated, and the sectors, they do not come and go very frequently. So if you look at this performance, it outperforms the Nifty by a whole lot in the backtest. And if you go and look at the live performance, it again has been doing well. That Anand will talk about in the next portion, I'm sure. Right. And so yeah, with this philosophy, we could show that we will be able to outperform the index in a risk-adjusted return basis in the long term, and and we'll be able to choose the best, most appropriate sectors. And me and Anand actually get on a call every time we rebalance, and we see that the sectors chosen by this strategy are actually the sectors that are in flavor in the market.
Right. And is there any specific reason that we go with the leader and the laggard?
Anand, do you want to take that question?
Thanks, Pranav, for the question on leaders and laggards. We didn't want to spend our time and energy on doing fundamental analysis, because that would need a different set of team, that would need a complete set of research analysts sitting across. And that's the whole reason we said, let's do a sector analysis basis quant, basis what Sonam just pointed out, and not look at doing fundamental analysis, because that I don't think is in our in our list of things to do at this point in time. And that's the reason why we said, let's just stick on to the leaders and the challengers.
Got it. And I believe that a lot of research does suggest that the leaders in any particular category tend to outperform the next set of stocks over a period of time. Absolutely. So that, I believe, would be one of the criteria that has been chosen.
And I think me and Anand also tried a few things, right? That like with the index, with leader, laggards, and three stocks and different things, and in various iterations, leader and the laggard, it did the best.
Right. So the next question, I believe, would be to you. So could you throw some light on how the performance was measured against the benchmark? What was the benchmark that was used, and how the portfolio has managed to outperform the index over a period of time?
If you're able to see the screen, so this is the sector rotation strategy performance node. And there are many instances. So I'll just go by live. So we went live about 4 months back in April. Since April, the index here is large cap, which is essentially a mix of the top 50 stocks and few more. So the large cap has gone up by about 10% while the sector rotation is done about 16%. So we've outperformed by about 6% in a matter of close to about 3 to 4 months. This is the live data. But that is good, and that's a great inspiration for us to continue doing what we're doing. But this is not that we were lucky. We did a lot more analysis, and if you see our 1 month analysis, which is like we have outperformed by a good 4% over 3 months. We have outperformed by very little, but then we did outperform by 1 odd month. And this includes the lockdown months and all that. In spite of that, we still outperformed the index. The 6 month has been very promising, because if you see, the 6 month return has been about 110, while the sector rotation has given about 122. In the sense, it is outperformed by 12%. And 12 months, clear outperformance by a substantial margin, which is initially back tested. So I don't want to highlight on this. The good thing is we are outperforming since the time we launched.
My next question again would be to understand more from you, Anand, about your market view and how you see this product offering being, who it is basically meant for, and if you could, elaborate on those things, I think that would be of interest.
Sure. So we continue to be very bullish on the market. We believe that the economic cycle has just started. We believe that lot more earnings upgrade will happen, lot more consumption stories will pop up, and people, as and when they get more and more confident, will start stepping out, will start spending their money, will start starting a new economic cycle, and that's extremely positive for markets in general. Of course, are we at a fair market zone, fair market valuation zone? No. I would be far more comfortable if it is slightly lower, but that is not in our. But if you look at valuation versus earnings yield versus debt yield, we are still not very bad. It's not that we are cheap. We are not extremely overvalued too. So we are a little more comfortable when we look at earnings yield as a matrix. But overall, I think there is still leg room, and if the earnings upgrade keep happening, if the result season continues to be as good as we think, then we are in for a good rally going forward. It would be also good to understand, Pranav, what contributed, the sector rotation. Which sector or what contributed to the outperformance of our sector rotation strategy? Maybe Sonam can talk about it a little.
Yeah, so see, we, like Anand said, that he was looking for metals when he had this idea. So metal has been, I think, part of our portfolio for the whole 4 months that we have been live, and we had banking at a certain point, and 2 months ago we moved to metals plus IT and FMCG. So it's a very interesting combination. Metal is a cyclical sector, and FMCG and IT are much more defensive. And I think the combination of these three in the current scenario is the winner, because metals have been having a very rapid rally, and on the days when the metals are volatile, then we have IT and FMCG to support this portfolio. So I think this combination of sectors has been quite a winner for this strategy, and sort of proves our philosophy, and hopefully the performance of the strategy will continue in the same pace.
My next question would be to you. So if you could elaborate a little more on how you see small cases as a product offering, some of the benefits that you've seen in the product as such. Maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit.
Small case, Pranav, I know you contacted me, and it's been an absolute delight, to be honest, right? Because it has helped me actually to offer something which is not there in the market at all. And you are the one who introduced you, Sonam, and thanks again for that, because this is an exclusive strategy, and it looks very promising going forward too. Small case, the technology, the kind of support that I get, and the new innovation that you're continuing to do is going to be extremely beneficial for my set of investors. And I am sure over the next maybe a couple of years, I would have about 15 to 20% of our investors' assets in small case and small case ideas, because one, they are promising; two, they are worth the money that we spend and the time that we spend on; three, they are extremely supportive. And if you continue to do what you're doing, small case, the number that we are talking about today is far less. We will do much higher than this. And thanks for the support, Pranav.
No problem. You're welcome.
So this strategy, I think it is exclusively, for Anand's clients, right? And Anand reaches out to people he thinks that are appropriate to invest into it. We have a minimum capital requirement of 5 lakh for this strategy, right? So we expect people to put in 5 lakh plus capital in this. The minimum holding period, we expect somebody to hold it for, a longer duration. It's a long only strategy, and the flavor of it will come over the long term only. So, you should be holding it for more than, 2 years, 5 years. What is very interesting for this strategy is it is all large caps, right? And it is all top of the line large caps in this portfolio. There are no risk of any small stocks or any unknown stocks here. So it is relatively safe, and the churn ratio for this strategy is one of the minimum churn ratio strategies that I have created, because we have these 6 stocks, very concentrated portfolio, and we do not, and this portfolio does not churn by itself over months, right? So you would hardly see a few stocks coming in and going on every few months, right? So the churn of this particular strategy is much lower, which I think will give a lot of comfort to a lot of people in India who do not like high churn strategies, right? Yeah, so I think this strategy has a lot of things going on for it. A good performance, concentrated, large cap blue chip exposure, and very low churn.
I believe that some of the key questions that we had with respect to the portfolio, that is sector rotation, has been addressed. But I believe that many of you might have other questions related to, things like how to go about exploring such a portfolio. So to give you more insights on it, I believe Anand from Augment Capital would be the best person to talk about it. So in case of any further questions, I believe that you can reach out to Anand from Augment Capital, and he'll be able to answer it better for you. So with that said, thanks a lot both to Right Research and Augment Capital for joining in on today's webinar. So I believe this has been a very interactive session, and any further questions, feel free to reach out to Smallcase or to Augment Capital. Thanks a lot everyone for joining in.
Thank you, Pranav. Thank you, Sonam.